Hello, my fellow derogatory terms of endearment. I'm Mr. Church. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the new Tiki Bar Patrons bundle. I'll peek at the Night of the Theater bundle and the Deep Spacewalk Paint, which are new. Did you guys know that? These are new items that have never been in the game before. That's so cool. Let's look at the Tiki Bar Patrons bundle first, because this thing comes with the swooning male mannequin, mannequin player title suffix, victory male mannequin, cabbage palm, tiki barstool, tiki bar, swooning female mannequin, and the victory female mannequin. Before I look at the individual pieces of this bundle, I want to point out a couple of things. If you want to get the mannequin sets, the cabbage palm, the tiki bar, this together costs the same amount as this. You're getting from the bundle, if you get the bundle, the mannequin player title suffix and the tiki bar stools, because this tiki bar, if you buy it by itself, does not come with the stools. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you want the stools, you have to get the bundle. If you want the mannequin prefix or suffix or where the fuck it is, you have to get the bundle. I don't know why you would, but if you do want that, the way to equip it, of course, is to go into your Pip-Boy, go over to stats, tab over to the right, all the way to suffixes, and then you can mix and match with any prefix that you already have, or you can just have just that. You can be a mannequin, and that'll display underneath your name, and at the end of your name, when you're on a team, people can see if you're a mannequin. Now let's look at the mannequins themselves, because these are just mannequins that are moved around a bit more. As you know, we only have the standing mannequins up until this moment, so this really adds quite a lot to the game when you really stop and think about it. First of all, V for victory. That's not what that means in England, so sorry. Something interesting when I was messing around with these, I couldn't get it to replicate for recording, obviously, because that would be too easy, but sometimes the mannequins will just not let you move them around after you place them. They'll be red and they'll say that they need support no matter where you have them. You have to store them and replace them if this happens, so have fun with that. They also share with the power armor displays if you have those, so if it's telling you that you already reached the maximum amount, which is 5, and you can't build any more, make sure you don't have any power armor displays or other mannequins already stored somewhere or built somewhere in your camp, because you won't be able to place them. And obviously with clothes on, they look like mannequins still, because they're mannequins, so that's good, I think. But that's fine. Another thing to keep in mind with mannequins, of course, is that they are classed as NPCs, which means they can push down pressure plates if you want them to help you out with merging. You don't need that. You can just push down, you can just place the pressure plate, pick it up and move it once, and it will push the button down and it'll stay. But if someone keeps messing it up or pushing the button up while you're building like your cat or something, you can just set one of the mannequins on this and it'll keep it pushed down even if your cat or ally walks across it. Now the cabbage palm is just like pretty interesting if you think about it, because what it is a dead palm tree. And it's a very straight and stiff looking palm tree. There's no other varieties that are like kind of crooked like you would imagine a palm tree would look when you like look at it in the pictures, or maybe for yourself when you're on the beach or something like that. I don't know, that's not how it looked in Gilligan's Island, so I'm gonna have to say that's a no for me. But thank you. It only costs 1 wood with contractor on. It does have to be placed in terrain. If you're looking for a way to place items down somewhere that's not terrain, by the way, check out this video that I'm going to link, where I go over a way that you can place items down that would only go in the dirt otherwise. You can blueprint them and place them wherever you want. You will be able to do that with this tree as well. So that's going to be fun and worth your time, I'm sure. Something that you can do with the palm tree and the tiki bar is you can kind of use it as one of those, like, you know, when you're like walking around minding your business out of the orange colored sky and you see there's like stuff around trees in public areas. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you could use it as some kind of whatever this is called around the tree. You do have to break the tree to snap it in, but wouldn't that be so cool? It doesn't look that good. Don't, just forget it, actually. But speaking of the tiki bar, this thing is pretty interesting because it does have snapping, but it's the only piece in the set. So the only way you could snap it is to itself, of course, and it doesn't even snap directly symmetrically. It's off slightly, which is absolutely terrible. One of the worst crimes committed by mankind, I think, is what we're looking at here. So this got me thinking, why would there be snapping on this? Because this is the only piece. So I went and looked through other bars, and of course it doesn't snap to the one that looks exactly like it. That would be too easy. But it does snap to the kitchen counters, and because it also snaps to the kitchen counters, it does snap to other bar pieces that we already have, and it doesn't match them or go with them or fit, and it's not the same size, but it does snap to them, so that's good to know. It doesn't snap to the wooden ones, the Western bar, whatever the hell it's called, for some reason, but why would it? That would be way too easy. I think that'd be pretty stupid, actually, if it did. But it's pretty interesting, and again, I want to point out that if you buy this by itself, it does not come with the bar stools, even though in both of the pictures, it shows the bar stools in the picture, implying, of course, since it matches the bar and it has the same green on it, that it would be together, so, you know, it's all one item, right? But it's not actually, so be careful about the interesting marketing practices being used there. But speaking of stools, I really actually like these bar stools a lot. I think they have a really good design. I like the slightly dirty, kind of older leather padded seat look. I think it looks really good. This is what it looks like when you're sitting in it. I wanted to make sure I tested that because one time there was a stool that I didn't sit in, and it was the dunce stool, and allegedly, after all that, who knew, it had its own special animation. Why would I assume that they would actually put effort and time into their products? I don't know. That's on me, though. That was my bad. But this one, you just sit normally, I guess. So that's good to know, I think. This is kind of interesting. So this isn't a new item, even though it says new. This doesn't mean new. This means new to the shop. So what we should start doing is having a little asterisk every time they have the new label. And then somewhere down here, maybe we can say what it actually, like what is it new to? Because it's not new to the game. I've been wearing this power armor for about 3 years, and I really like it. It hasn't been that long. Okay, it's only been like 2 years. But I really like it. It's one of my favorite, actually, and I use it a lot. It doesn't come with a jetpack of its own. I'm using the Light 'em Up jetpack from that one. And I didn't take it off because in order to put it back on, it costs flux, and I'm a cheapskate, but it actually kind of does match this one. Not a lot of the jetpacks skins that we have for power armor actually match this specific skin. So this one's not bad to use anyway, if you needed to use a jetpack and you had it as well. Now, allegedly in the shop, it says it can be equipped to Excavator, Raider, all the T series, Ultrasight Union, and XO1. It doesn't say if it can be put on Hellcat, Stranglerheart, which it should be able to because Stranglerheart is Ultrasight. But we'll see. We'll see. You guys can just try it out and let me know, because I don't have a Hellcat set on this character. But wouldn't that be so interesting if you could put it on there? Obviously, there's the Enclave symbol on here, but I think it's pretty small, and one that's, you know, we can just forget about. Let's just gloss over that, okay? But yeah, it is my favorite power armor skin in the game, I think. I would put this one and the Pink Sprinkles S tier, honestly. So it is in the shop. It's never been in the shop before. It was on the Battle Pass, which is why they're saying it's new, even though it's not. And another thing that's not new is Joey Bello, and this guy is a light ally, and that means you put him in your camp, and he spams the same 5 voice lines for about 7 hours while you're trying to build, and then you start to have a nervous breakdown. But it's fine because he's a comedian, so it'll actually be funny. That's why he has Rotten Tomatoes all over him, because he really can crack some jokes. Honestly, I think the big comedian here is whoever's putting together the Atom Shop every week. Because these are some big fucking jokes every single time, and Joey Bello gets to be the one with all the laughs? I don't think so. But just so you know, guys, Joey Bello by himself is 1,500 atoms, but if you get the Night at the Theater bundle, which is 1,800 atoms, Joey Bello comes in this thing. So, for 300 extra, you get an $1,800 value theater bundle. Well, maybe not. So if we take Joey Bello out of this equation, it's going to cost a lot more than 300 atoms to get the rest of this stuff, just so you know. And speaking of the Night at the Theater bundle, this thing has the theater marquee, Joey Bello, we've already seen him, the marquee letter set, Hollywood stars, floor and foundations, theater signs, and the red curtain door. The theater signs, there's actually a couple. One says concession, one says theater, one says, I can't remember everything in the game that I've seen before. Why do you expect so much of me? I'm doing my best here every week and you just can't. I don't know. It's something like that. Maybe a little bit shorter. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly. And then the marquee sign is fine if you want to do like a movie theater or something like that. It's who cares? I've never built it, but for a very specific build, it's kind of nice. And the marquee letter set, these are actually the best letters in the game for writing little messages around here and there. In my opinion, I really like them. They're very clean. Unfortunately, one of the main problems with letter sets in this game is that they're so thin and everything loads in differently whenever you load into the server, that you'll load in and the letters will have shifted slightly so that they're actually inside the object you put them on and you can't see them anymore. So it'll look like they're disappearing constantly, even though they're still on the item and using budget. So it's pretty annoying. It was much worse when we didn't have free cam, so we couldn't like go inside the item and get that out of there. But it's still annoying and really terrible. I usually don't use letters because they do that. It would be nice if they didn't. But if you want to use letter set, this one's pretty good. The star floor is who gives a hoot, in my opinion, about that. But just so you know, this popcorn thing isn't in the bundle. This thing you can actually get in-game at Nuka World on tour, and you just have to do those fun events. This is a door, and it opens, slides back and forth. It's pretty nice. I actually use this on my Dino build for some of the doors on it. It actually really helped with the vibe I was going for. But outside of that, I can't remember using it. It's not really that bad because you could use it for a few different things besides just a curtain door. Joey Bello, I don't really want to talk about too much. I feel like I've already talked about him more than I ever wanted to. But that's what's in the theater at the Night at the Theater bundle. Or, guys, one question. And you guys can let me know. Why is theater spelled this way here, but it's spelled this way here? What's the difference? Someone out there is gonna know. I hope that you'll let me know pretty soon. But that's all the stuff on page 1. Isn't that so fun? And then there's the Gone Fishing stuff, and of course the winter stuff from last week. And I do have a video on that if you want to check it out. I go over some of the cool stuff that you can do with these new floatable items. But one thing that I want to let you guys know is, since getting this, I've had a few issues placing down some of these things. Sometimes it's saying that it needs support when it's in water, and sometimes it says item is not visible. And I've never had that specific error code message anywhere except for in a custom world. So that's pretty interesting. Not really sure what that's about. Obviously the item was visible. I could visually see it. But that's something interesting to keep in mind if you haven't yet decided to get this bundle or not. Let's look at greatest hits, because why wouldn't I? The radiation test bundle. I still don't really understand these glowing things, but if you wanted them to put them all over your camp, there you go. You've got 3 kinds in this bundle. There's also this radiation glove box, which I actually do think is a really cool item that you can interact with, and of course, you can just, I don't know, it's cool. It's cool, okay? And then, because it doesn't go with it at all, they did throw in the clean shower. This thing used to give you the well-rested bonus, and I'll bet the farm on it. Some people say it never did, and of course, they said it in such a kind way that I was really receptive to that information, and I'm not going to double down on what I said, even if it's incorrect, because that would just be immature. But it did. If you get poisoned by radiation, you can't go into the fucking shower and clean it off with some of your old Dove soap. It's not going to work, okay? It's not going to work. In fact, you're fucked. It's over. Just lay down and maybe jow. This greenhouse dome is one of the oldest Atom Shop items in the game. That's why I even have it on PC. And it actually, the normal version of it comes with one that doesn't have this base on it. And that means that, of course, you can place it like on your structures and stuff. But it also means if you try to place it on the normal ground, it's always going to be floating because you'd have to find perfectly flat ground to place it down. I don't know if this bundle comes with that version of it. I would assume it does, but they don't actually have a picture of it, so I can't be sure. And again, because I already own it, I can't tell by buying it if I'll get both. So you'll probably get both of them, but I'm not gonna like promise you anything. But you know, it's why not live on the edge a little, you know? Hey, I'd like to buy something, not sure what though, just like every other week. Now this is Feel the Music bundle, and it comes with a rockabilly outfit, the bony Tambo skin, which is for the death Tambo, of course, the modern ceiling fan. That always, I don't know about you guys, but when I want to feel the music, I turn on the fucking ceiling fan. You know what I mean? That wow, what a jam. I like to jam out. We turn on the tunes and the ceiling fan, and we really just start bumping our head to the tunes. We also have black paint. Whenever they don't say what the paint's for, it's for a Pip-Boy. It's a Pip-Boy skin. Skull drum set. The air guitar pose. Resonator guitar. And the classic performance stage. Yeah, so if you want to know what any of those things are, obviously they're not lit up. That's a really great view of the Pip-Boy. Thank you. That's really helpful. That's the Death Tambo skin with the eyeballs and the bones. Kind of disgusting. Those eyes are a little bit too big, I think, to scale. I don't know where they came from, but it wasn't a human being. This is the classic performance stage back here. It's pretty cool. It's kind of scrappy. It's a little annoying to work with, but it's fine. The resonator guitar, you can of course get the well-tuned effect from playing both of these instruments. This is the skull drum set. You can barely see it. And of course, the ceiling fan is actually really nice. I like it. I just don't know what it has to do with anything else in this bundle. And I'm just scratching my head about it. If your ceiling fan is making enough noise that it makes it to this Feel the Music bundle, something needs to change. Maybe the ball bearings in it are gone, but you gotta fix it. It's broken. The rockabilly outfit has a cool like patchwork design on the back, maybe. Who knows? We can't see it. Now the soundstage shelter. How about that? Pretty cool. You can turn the lights on with these switches. And there's like some scaffolding around the edges. And you can build this clown in a room, which is honestly, that's the most effort I've ever seen them put into one of these pictures. So I'm not gonna mock them too much, okay? Because they've really outdone themselves here. Anyway, this is fine. I don't really build in shelters too much for a number of reasons, but this one, if I owned it, like if I had to buy a shelter, this would be one of the ones that I would choose probably, because it's just like a really nice, clean, dark thing to start with, like a canvas to work with, if you will. You could probably do a lot of cool stuff with it, honestly. So it's not a bad shelter. I don't like how shelters are always so expensive, but this one's 20% off, so it's only like way too much instead of like exorbitantly too much. This is the Settler Vigilante Power Armor Paint, and originally included with the Wastelander's digital upgrades. Do you know what that means, guys? Do you guys know what that means? Someone spent real money on it, now it's in the item shop for 700 atoms, okay? Which is why I always tell people don't buy any of those 4 money bundles, because they're just preying on your FOMO, and they make it look like they're going to be exclusive and you can only get them by giving them fat stacks, when in reality they're going to put it in the shop later, because that's what they like to do. This is the BOS Tactical Field Backpack, and yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. It actually is pretty neat. I don't know, it's like kind of cool, but I'm getting out of here, actually. Now, the Caravan Trader outfit, looking your best while selling your wares across the wasteland. And brother, if that's your best, you gotta start over. You have to start over, and I mean from Adam. And when I say Adam, I mean when you were born. And when I say when you were born, I mean like a few years after you were born. You gain sentience, you know, sentient will, the knowledge that you're alive, self-awareness. You know, when you are first, you're like laying down to take a nap. The first time you realize, oh my God, I am a human being with I have a self, and I'm choosing to have this thought right now that I'm engaging with. And who am I in the grand scheme of things? What is this all for? You know, why are we here on this earth? This lump of rock, how did I end up? Anyway, we also have the dark matter paint, which is, that's just dark paint, I guess, with a little bit of, that's for your combat rifle. I'm assuming it works on the fixer as well, but I'm going to be honest with you, I just don't want to buy it. I just don't really want to buy it, okay? The Contemporary Housing Kit, this is one of the, if not the first, building kits that they added to the game. So when I remember with large excitement, when they added it, how amazing it was. Even when we saw a picture like this, we still could say, wow, that's so exciting. And it remains a staple of building pleasure. Now, the Sidekicks bundle, this has the Fighting Stance pose, the Mistress of Mystery sidekick mask, Mean Green pose, Grognak sidekick costume and the Inspector sidekick costume and Under Armour, Grognak sidekick mask, Mistress sidekick costume and Under Armour, and the Inspector sidekick glasses. These are all poses, so you can't tell which one you're buying, because you know how they listed off the Fighting Stance pose in the Mean Green pose, and that was it. That's 2 poses. And then they decided they would actually take pictures where they're all posing differently. You got this one. Is that the Mean Green one? You've got this one. Is that the Mean Green one? You got this one. Is that the Mean Green one? This one. And that's, you know what I mean? These are all just poses. They're idiots. That's all there is to it. It's hard to really say. Okay, so luckily, guys, luckily, the name's Encyclopedia Brown, and we're gonna deduce what's what. Okay, so we're gonna figure this one out. So right off the bat, we can tell that these 2 photos are gonna be the 2 poses. But we only can do that because we already know that this is the Mistress of Mystery Under Armour. This is the Inspector Under Armour. And this is the Grognak Under Armour. Okay? And then you got, of course, the glasses that go with it. These are the Inspector's glasses, which, by the way, I love them. They're actually really nice. And this is the different goggles that... Anyway, so the point is, I already know what these look like because I own them already. but someone new to the game, especially who's not familiar with the Mistress of Mystery color scheme or the Inspector's color scheme, which I only know because I already own the Inspector's outfit, and then whatever the hell this is, because it doesn't look like Grognak at all. He doesn't have leopard print shit. Does he? I don't think so. Anyway, someone new to the game isn't going to know necessarily that this isn't one of those outfits that are listed. It's kind of just plain black. I know this is the communist something or other, because I have too many hours in the game. And I know that none of the things that this person is wearing is one of the thingy things. That's the Katie Inkwell outfit, I believe, and I don't know what the hell that hat is, but I hate it. So because we know that this one is probably the mean green one, and this one's the fighting stance. Doesn't it look like a fighting stance when you really stop and think about it? But I think it's just a shame and an embarrassment to the human race that I have to tell you what this stuff is, because they didn't bother, even though they're trying to sell it to you. Also, the other thing I want to point out, guys, is Under Armour, if you don't know, goes under your armor, which means if you want to wear armor, you're not going to see it ever. So this does come with the outfit, but it's the sidekick outfit, okay? It's not Grognak, for example. It's Grognak's sidekick, so that's what that shit is. You can see his underwear, as you can see. And then, you know, I believe that the costume and Under Armour look almost identical, if not identical. But I can't, this is killing me, actually. So let's get out of here and go to the special, free and special. Today, there's a free item for 6 days or whenever. And it's the green dress. This one's not a terrible dress. Of course, just like every other dress in the game, it's bugged out and rides up and flips upside down. It's fine, but all you have to do is unequip it and re-equip it every 15 minutes while you're playing, which I like to do, personally. It kind of keeps me engaged while I'm fishing. Now, the slip and slide station, I've already done a full video on this stuff, and I'll just link that in the description so that we don't have to take another 40 minutes out of our lives today. If you want to check out any of that stuff, you can check out that video to know if you want to get this or not. It'll be in the shop for allegedly 6 days if you have Fallout First, which is pretty interesting. I don't remember this bundle being a Fallout First exclusive, but maybe it was. I don't know. And the free item today is 250 caps, which doesn't really make any difference. And if you missed it, of course, guys, the Pavilion set is in this bundle if you want to get it. Over here, we have a floor, which is kind of cool, I think. And that is the daily offer. There's going to be a new thing every day, every 24 hours it resets, for 50% off the alleged original value. It looks like it's all going to be floor designs, though. I'm actually impressed that they keep finding ways to half-ass this game even more. Like, just when I think they've fully phoned it in, they pull out a real stinger. Okay, so different kinds of floors all week is what we're gonna have, and then next week different kinds of flares all week, and they already did that. So then different kinds of I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my patrons and channel members for your support. If it wasn't for your support, there's no way in hell I could afford therapy and be able to keep making these videos. So I really do appreciate it. And if you're interested in supporting the channel in that way, the link will be in the description. There's also a Discord if you want to join it. Lots of cool people in there and nutty people as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.